Hi, my name is Corey, and I come to you today as a person who experiences cerebral palsy. And I want to make it clear that I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking about cerebral palsy as a group. All uh, disabilities vary. Okay? Cerebral palsy comes in many different flavors. But I want to talk today about Martin Luther King Day, with the inauguration and all that hoopla that went on there. And it is hoopla, believe me, I've never seen someone more divisive. Whatever side you're on, you have to acknowledge that that's divisive. But in all that, we overlook Martin Luther King Day. Now, I know for many people that that can just be a day off, right? It's just a nice day off, and we really don't think about it because we're not black, we're not African American. I am as Caucasian can be, so I can't speak to what it's like to be African American. I don't know and will never know. What I can speak about is what it's like to be a 49-year-old man with a disability. And by the way, cerebral palsy is not, and I want to stress this, not my disability. My disability comes from the way society and other people look at my cerebral palsy. Okay? Let me give you an example. Do you ever see supermodels with cerebral palsy? Do you ever see them in Vanity Fair doing a photo spread or a fashion show? No, you do not. Because society has figured that that's not sexy. Society says there's something wrong with us and that we need to be rehabilitated. So, a lot of our services for individuals that need support, whether they be physical support like what I need or redirection for those with intellectual developmental disabilities, they're all based on we're going to rehabilitate you. Okay? They're all based on learning new skills and on fixing people. And there are people out there I know they hate it when I say that, and I know they do because they'll say, "Well, that's not the intent," and they're right. It's not the intent, but it can make you feel pretty crappy when you can't keep up with every 15 minutes learning a new skill because that's what some agencies feel they have to do. So when we talk about Martin Luther King Day and we say, oh, we have such liberties, people who experience physical challenges do not have those liberties. I'll just name one. I love children, would love to have children. Physically, I am capable of producing children, and my partner is also physically capable of producing children, if not carrying them to term. Okay, but assuming we could find somebody to be the carrier of the babies, okay, we could make a baby because there's nothing physically stopping that. I'm using my words carefully because I want to be conscious of language and YouTube and all those things. And I don't want to paint a picture that's gross to people, okay? But there's nothing stopping that. But the government would probably step in and say, you can't take care of your children because physically you have difficulty with your own life. Physically, you have some challenges that you need assistance with for yourself. So how are you going to take care of children? Right? And there's some validity to that. The problem is the the first response would be take away the kids. It wouldn't be how do we help you raise these kids? It would be take away the kids because you can't deal with them. And I don't know any other group that would face that. No other group would face that. One thing I really want is not to be a drain on society. I want to contribute to society. That's why I advocate for things. That's why I spend my days in meetings with people advocating for different things. And today I'm not speaking for any of them. Today I'm speaking for me. Another thing that people with physical challenges have to face is the SSI marriage penalty. Now, because of my situation, and because of how that is, I can't go into detail on what the marriage penalty is. But I will say it impacts SSI, SSA, and Medicaid. And all this gets impacted by your desire to be legally married to the person you choose to be. If you want to know more about it, look it up. So if you don't think there are things to work on, freedoms to protect, think again. Another one, the right to vote. And people say, oh, you have the right to vote because they have to have wheelchair accessible voting booths. Do you know that it's not just a wheelchair accessible voting booth? Do you know that one of my challenges is called low vision? Okay, that's a door prize that I got for arriving early when I was born. Okay. So I have low vision. So when I go to vote, I need a special machine that can read the ballot out loud to me so I can make my choices. Because the alternative to that machine is to have my staff who have English as a second language and don't know what they're reading try to read the ballot to me. Okay? And the law provides that these machines have to be available and they read the paper ballot, so it's not an electronic voting machine. It's just a machine to read the ballot out loud. Um, okay, so it's not. This is not electronic voting or anything like that. It's just a machine to read out loud. But the reality is, many voting places don't have these machines, and of the ones that do, only a few people know how they operate, so they couldn't assist me in setting it up so that I can be independent to vote. And we, as people who experience disabilities, and the rest of us, need to demand that such machines exist. We need to also, when we can, we need to go to work. Okay? Because if we're ever going to be seen as not a dredge on society, a drain on society, we got to go to work. We got to have a job. We got to contribute. Okay? But that means that these Social Security laws around who is eligible for Social Security and what happens when you go to work need to change because the way they're in now, there is more incentive for people not to work to maintain their Social Security than there is to go to work. Because the minute you go to work, they say, "Oh, you're working. We'll take 10% of what you made." And 10% doesn't sound like a lot, but boy, it is. And also, let's talk about supported employment. Because while I'm at work, I still have physical needs, right? I still need to go to the bathroom. I still need assistance with these things. So, supported employment allows for somebody to be there to do things like pick something up if I drop it while I'm working, read something that I can't see, help me with the bathroom, those kind of things. But we have very few people in this state doing supported employment now. And we need to work on that. We need to find out why, and we really need to push and demand that supported employment is a service that is necessary to be a functioning member of society. And I believe that. And I also want to be careful when I talk about work because what happens is some politician will get a hold of this and say, we should make work a requirement to receive Social Security. There are people who cannot work. Physically, they are in too much pain. Mentally, they can't handle the stress of a regular 9 to 5 job, but they can volunteer. So we want to be careful about making it a requirement. A much better way to look at things is we need, as people who experience this stuff, to say, my expectation is that I will go to work. My expectation is that I will be a productive member of this society. And I'm not going away. I'm not being sheltered. I'm not being put away so you don't have to deal with me, because the reality is that I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. Another thing we need to deal with in this country is just the idea that our staff are paid so little. Our staff work tirelessly, excuse me, tirelessly to make sure we get up, make sure we have what we need to function every day. And they earn so little. And by the way, most of them are immigrants. And they need a legal way to be members of this country. So we need more people to process that stuff. Process applications. We have expectations for our lives, and society should too. And these are the things when I think of the I have a dream speech. I have a dream. I have a dream that society will look at me and say, what can you do, Corey? What can you give? Do you know that in most of this country, it is still legal to pay people who experience disabilities sub minimum wage, below minimum wage? Now, I'm sure supporters will say, oh, we're trying to protect your benefits. But I say, listen to me right now. If I'm doing the same work as somebody who happens to be able to walk, I should get the same pay. And with that, I'll leave you to think about these things and ponder what your dream is for Martin Luther King Day. Thank you.